Hello everyone and welcome. This is Ms. Cronin speaking, and today we'll be talking about the CBAs, specifically the French CBA1, which is on oral communication. Okay, so our learning outcomes for today's class. In today's lesson we will learn what a CBA is and what is required from you for the French CBA. We will understand how the CBA is assessed. And we will start thinking about what we will be including in our own CBAs in 3 weeks' time. Okay, so the structure of this lesson will be, in part 1, we'll be learning what is a CBA and what are the CBAs for French. In part 2, we will be learning what exactly is required from you for the French CBA. So what will you be doing and how will you be doing it? Part 3, how is the CBA assessed? So what is the assessment criteria? Who assesses it? And part 4, we'll be doing a bit of group work on the CBA theme, and afterwards we'll be having a group discussion based on that. Okay, so part 1, what is a CBA? So a CBA is a classroom-based assessment. And classroom-based assessments, as the name suggests, are assessments performed and prepared in class before the written Junior Cert examination in June of third year. And these will account for 10% of your overall Junior Cert French grade. So what are the French CBAs specifically? As part of the French Junior cycle, you will complete 2 classroom-based assessments. CBA1 assesses oral communication, and CBA2, the student language portfolio, is a collection of 3 written texts written and compiled by yourself over the course of the year, and I'll be helping you to select it. However, this presentation will deal only with CBA1 on oral communication. That's all we'll be working on for the next couple of weeks. So part 2, French CBA1, what is involved in it? So CBA1, oral communication, what does it involve? CBA1 involves a 3 to 4 minute recording of a role play between 2 students on a given topic. After the dialogue is complete, I will ask you some unscripted questions based on it. So the whole recording is 3 to 4 minutes. So ideally your role play would be about 3 minutes, and we'll allow just under a minute for the unscripted questions. The role plays will be prepared and performed in pairs, but you will be assessed individually, okay? So you'll all be getting your own mark. The role plays will be assessed by myself on the day of recording. This recording will take place on Friday the 29th of April, and we will spend the next 3 weeks in class working together to prepare for this. So what does the role play involve? So I've included here an excerpt from the official Junior Cycle guidelines, and it says role play. A student, pair or group choose a role play scenario, such as booking a holiday, a shopping trip, or interacting with a host family. During the role play, students interact with each other and or the teacher. The role play is supported by unscripted questions by the teacher. So the role play theme that we will be doing in this class is booking a holiday, or réserver des vacances. Okay, so we'll all be doing this. We'll be preparing this together. Now, this is the point in the class where I would allow some space for questions. So we had that in the physical class. If anyone watching this online has any questions, please feel free to address them to me in the comments section or in school. Part 3, assessment. So how is the CBA assessed? How is the oral CBA assessed? The oral CBA is assessed by your teacher, by myself, in class at the moment of you performing it, okay? So once you've finished your role play and I have finished asking you the unscripted questions, the recording will be stopped and I will award you each one of the 4 following comments. So it will be either exceptional, above expectations, in line with expectations, or yet to meet expectations. So that'll be your mark, one of those comments. Please remember that while you are working in pairs, you will be graded individually, okay? So the comment is not for the whole group, for the whole pair. You will each receive your own comment and your own mark. Okay, so what is the assessment criteria? I've summarized here the assessment criteria from the junior cycle curriculum. So the comment you receive will be based on your ability to demonstrate the following. So the first heading is communicative competence. So that includes clarity of expression. Can you be understood? Can we understand what it is you're saying in French? Pronunciation. Intonation. Is your voice rising at the end of a question? And asking and answering questions. So can I see that as you and your partner are asking and answering questions to each other, that you are understanding what the other person is asking and offering a suitable response? The next category that you will be graded on is language awareness. So this one component of this is correct grammar. So are your grammatical structures correct? Are you using the correct verbs, tenses, prepositions? Another thing that would fall under language awareness is using tu or vous forms of address. So awareness of the way in which this is used in French. Now, in this role play, you will only exclusively be using the vous form of address because you don't know the person that you're speaking to. You and the travel agent don't know each other. So that should make things slightly easier. There'll be no variation there. And the last component that you will be graded on is sociocultural knowledge and intercultural awareness. So, what do you know about the target language country or countries? Now, I say country or countries because you don't have to be going to France. You can choose any French-speaking francophone country that you like. But through the role play, you will need to demonstrate your knowledge of this country. So you'll be talking about places you'd like to go, things you'd like to see there. Okay, so once again, at this part of the class, I would leave space for questions. So again, if you do have any, please feel free to address them to me in school or in the questions box on my website. Okay, so part 4, group work and group discussion. So choosing your groups for the CBA. You will be allowed to choose your own pairs for the CBA, and I will give you until next class to have this decided. Okay, so when you come to Wednesday's class, you will need to know what group you are in or who you're paired up with. If you're not sure about choosing your pair, you can come to me in the meantime and I'll allocate you one. But for the moment, in today's class, you will work in groups of 3 at your table to discuss the questions on the next slide. Okay, so we'll be looking at those questions in a moment. I'll be going around, so raise your hand if you have any questions, and we will have a group discussion on your answers afterwards. So the questions you need to consider. Once again, our roleplay theme is booking a holiday. The roleplay will involve a conversation over the phone or in person between a person looking to book a holiday and the travel agent assisting them. One person will play the client and the other will play the travel agent. So work in your groups to brainstorm possible answers to the following questions. Where could you be going on holidays? So as I mentioned earlier, note that you are not restricted to France. You can choose any French-speaking country you wish, okay? So if you want to think outside the box a little bit, or if you've been to somewhere else on holidays that you'd like to address, you can include that section, or you can choose to go to that country. Have a think about that now. What part of the country are you going to? So you'll need to name a city or an area that you're booking your holiday in. What is there to see there? So you might need to research that at home later, but if you do know, then definitely note that down. What verbs and tenses will you be using? So have a little brainstorm about that. If you're booking a holiday, what are the verbs that might crop up and what are the tenses? It's probably going to be quite future based. Okay, so off you go with your group work there. So then once the group work is completed, we would move on to a group discussion in class where everyone would share the ideas they came up with. We would write them on the board and discuss them together. Okay, so once the group discussion is concluded then, we did a little recap of what we had covered in the course of this class. So today we are beginning preparation of the Oral Communication CBA, which involves a role play on booking a holiday that you will prepare and perform in pairs in 3 weeks' time. Okay? The role play will be followed by unscripted questions from your teacher, and the entire recording will last 3 to 4 minutes. Okay? So that is role play and questions. And once again, the recordings will take place on Friday, the 29th of April. So mark that in your diaries, all right? Now, what's next? What do you need to prepare for next class? So your task for next class is to decide on your pairs for the CBA. Once again, anyone who is not sure of who to choose as your partner can come to me before next class and I will allocate you one. And in the next class, you'll be working in your pairs to answer some questions that will allow you to write your CBA. So the same sort of stimulating questions that we were looking at in the group work. That will allow you to draw out a little bit more what you'll be including in your CBA. Okay, so thanks very much for listening and best of luck. See you on Wednesday.